Thank you very much, Mr. President. We all are fully immersed in the so-called Internet of Things. Computers, phones, vehicles, TVs, and even refrigerators and toasters are now connected to the Internet. The benefits of our connected universe are potentially very significant. Unfortunately, there is an increasing body of evidence that suggests that the health risks are very significant as well. Now, I don't bring this concern to you lightly. I'm a techie at heart. I've been an early adopter of technology ever since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. And I was one of the first Internet-based telecommuters during my work on virtual reality training systems for the Department of Defense. I have boldly gone where many have not gone before as an aerospace engineer designing systems for the International Space Station. In other words, it would be extremely difficult for anyone to make the case that I'm an advocate of returning to the days when we bang rocks together to make fire. Having said that, I have serious concerns regarding evidence of adverse health impacts due to a specific class of technology wonders, wireless transmitters, especially high-frequency, high-power wireless transmitters. The most ubiquitous examples of wireless technology are cell phones, Wi-Fi routers, and smart meters. This technology is found in our homes, our workplaces, hospitals, and in our schools. For techies such as myself, it provides unparalleled convenience by connecting a growing number of devices to the Internet of Things. However, it is becoming increasingly evident that this convenience comes at a price, and it comes at a price to the health of many of our citizens, most notably children, babies in the womb, and even adults who suffer from hypersensitivity to wireless transmissions. A few weeks ago, I distributed sample data to each of you from scientific studies of the effects of radio frequency emissions compiled by bioinitiative.org that highlight the adverse health effects of various profiles of wireless transmissions. The adverse health effects identified by these studies are very serious. These effects include cancer, neurological problems, immune system disorders, and reproductive harm. It has been demonstrated that radio frequency radiation can have adverse impacts at the cellular level, including harmful mutations of human DNA. Most alarming of all is that children are most vulnerable to these adverse impacts, including children in the womb of pregnant mothers. It is for this reason that Wi-Fi in schools represents a particularly significant health risk, not just for students, but also for pregnant teachers. Classrooms can have as many as one transmitter for every 10 students. Countries such as France and Israel have responded to these health concerns by passing laws restricting the use of Wi-Fi in schools. Yesterday, this body passed a suite of bills designed to protect Michigan's children. Today, we are proposing to do the exact opposite and put our children at increased risk. We are now discussing the deployment of 5G networks throughout our state. 5G networks operate in the 24 to 90 gigahertz spectrum. This is a much higher frequency than the current 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz frequencies found in current Wi-Fi networks.
Can I have the noise level reduced in the chamber, please? Thank you.
High-frequency transmissions don't travel well through solid objects, so 5G will likely require one transmitter for every 2 to 10 homes. This is a much higher density than current cell tower distribution, which have already been associated with significant health care risks. This legislation makes matters worse. Under these bills, local units of governments are prohibited from enacting ordinances that will provide safe havens for citizens with sensitivity to high-frequency radio frequency emissions. In the wake of the 1996 Federal Telecom Act, the FCC, not the Center for Disease Control, is responsible for regulating human exposure standards. The FCC has established maximum power density thresholds for radio frequency emissions in the 24 to 90 gigahertz spectrum of 5G networks as 5 milliwatts per square centimeter. This exposure threshold is based upon thermal concerns analogous to microwave cooking, but have yet to be defined on the basis of non-thermal concerns. Ionizing radiation has been proven to disrupt the basic cell functions at well below the thermal thresholds promoted by the FCC. As a result, any concerns about radiation exposure are routinely greeted with the words, "Emissions are well within FCC guidelines." The issue is that these guidelines indicate acceptable radiation levels which are orders of magnitude above what has been demonstrated as safe when non-thermal effects are considered. The FCC guidelines are clearly insufficient. Now, many of us are rightly concerned about the hazards of cigarettes, lead levels, PFAS levels, and other harmful substances in our environment. But I regret to inform you that we need to add electromagnetic radiation from wireless technology to this list. In light of the policy initiatives before our body and our representatives in D.C. that would put our current wireless infrastructure on steroids, it is critically important that we evaluate the non-thermal health impacts of this technology before we invest billions of dollars on these systems. Article 4, Section 51 of the Michigan Constitution states that the public health and general welfare of the people of the state are hereby declared to be matters of primary public concern. The legislature shall pass suitable laws for protection and promotion of public health. Despite the convenience and the enormous economic growth potential associated with the Internet of Things, our primary concern as legislators is not convenience nor economic growth. As much as I love technology, per our Michigan Constitution, the public health and general welfare of the people of the state are supposed to be our primary concern. In this light, we need to proceed with caution before we fully immerse our citizens in the Internet of Things. I urge my colleagues to vote no on Senate Bills 637 and 894, and I'd like my remarks added to the Journal, please.